Forza Horizon was developed for the Xbox 360 and is the first open-world game in the series. It is based around a fictitious festival called the Horizon Festival, set in the U.S. state of Colorado. The game incorporates many different gameplay aspects from previous Forza Motorsport titles, like the large variety of cars, realistic physics, and high-definition graphics. The aim is to progress through the game by means of obtaining wristbands by driving fast, destroying property, winning races, and other driving antics. Horizon features the physics of Forza Motorsport 4, which have been optimized to work on the more than 65 variants of terrain said to be present in the game. Players can drive off-road in select areas, while others are limited by guardrails or other means. Horizon allows the player to modify the car that is selected from the garage by changing numerous features both internally and externally on a car. One can also obtain cars by winning races with random drivers on the street, by winning larger competitive races, and by finding barns housing hidden treasure cars that cannot otherwise be bought through the game's auto show or through racing. The 2013 Dodge SRT Viper GTS is the cover car. Forza Horizon 2 was developed for the Xbox 360 and Xbox One. The game is set in southern France and northern Italy, and the playing field is 3 times the map of its predecessor. The Xbox 360 version was developed by Sumo Digital and is the final Forza game for Xbox 360. The Xbox One version introduced dynamic weather and lighting systems to the series. Tuning also made a return in the Xbox One version of the game, after being absent from the previous Horizon title. Both versions featured day and night cycles and cross-country races of up to 12 players and 2 bucket lists, one for France and the other for Italy. Bucket lists are lists of location-specific challenges involving certain vehicles for the player to complete, such as driving a Ford Raptor through a forest with only headlights to light the player's way. Additionally, its single-player and multiplayer modes have merged to allow for seamless connectivity, where other players can join in or drop out of the host session without interrupting the latter's progress. In this edition of Forza Horizon, Car Meets serves as an online hub for players to compare their cars and share their own designs or tunes for others to use, as well as socialize and challenge each other in showdown races. The 2014 Lamborghini Huracan LP610-4 was the cover car. Forza Horizon 3 was released for Xbox One and Windows 10 on September 27, 2016. Its support for Xbox Play Anywhere makes it the first Forza title to allow crossplay on the 2 Microsoft platforms. The game is set in Australia and has the player represented in the game as the host of the Horizon Festival itself. Its topography, car roster, and cast of player avatars have all diversified. For the first time, the terrain includes sand and deep bodies of water that can be driven on or into, and the car roster, which is expanded to 350 cars, encompasses off-road racing buggies and trophy trucks. The single-player campaign mode adds co-op, in which up to 3 players join the host to complete the latter's objectives. Progression is kept regardless of which mode campaign is played in. The 2016 Lamborghini Centenario LP770-4 and the 2017 Ford F150 Raptor race truck were the cover cars. Forza Horizon 4 was developed for the Xbox One and Windows 10 and released on October 2, 2018. The game is set in Great Britain and features over 450 cars from more than 100 manufacturers. It introduces a dynamic 4-season scheme that rotates on a weekly basis and changes aspects of the environment, such as rivers drying in the summer. Places such as the Edinburgh Castle can now be purchased as property, unlocking benefits. For the first time, players are given the option to traverse the same world as others in single-player or on a 72-player server. The 2018 McLaren Senna and 1997 Land Rover Defender 90 are the cover cars. Shortly after launch, Turn 10 released a patch that added Route Creator, where players draw custom point-to-point and circuit racing routes and place their checkpoints on the map. Forza Horizon 5 was developed and released for the Xbox One, Xbox Series XS, and Windows 10 on November 9, 2021, and is set in Mexico. The seasons return, But to account for Mexico's diverse landscape, different parts of the map have their own weather that rotates seasonally. A new mode called Event Lab allows players to create races with their own rules and objectives. Also new is Forza Link, an AI assistant that tracks one's progress and preferred means of playing the game and the players they meet online. It then uses that information to match players with statistically similar interests. The Mercedes-AMG 1 and the 2021 Ford Bronco Badlands are the cover cars. One aspect that stands out, but might not be obvious when you first boot up Forza Horizon 5, is the game's map design. Driving around in Mexico is a seamless endeavor, especially when traversing through multiple biomes. In fact, the transitions are so smooth you will not even realize that there is new scenery around. Horizon 6 is expected to be available on Xbox Game Pass at launch, following the successful launch of its predecessor. Forza Horizon 5 set records as the biggest Game Pass release at the time, and Forza Horizon 6 is anticipated to perform similarly as one of Microsoft's flagship racing titles. Mike Brown, the creative director of Forza Horizon 5, caused a shock after he left Playground Games in 2023. Several other veterans also left alongside him. While many were initially disappointed by the news, it has left fans hopeful of a new direction for the new game. A fresh start could be the perfect opportunity to provide more meaningful gameplay beyond simply accumulating points and collecting cars in your garage. This opens up many potentially exciting possibilities with a new story mode. Many fans feel that carrying over the progress from Horizon 4 was convenient for Forza Horizon 5 gamers. However, it meant that the game lacked any real progression to work towards that many desired. Rather than having everything handed on a plate, having to go back to the grind of experiencing the excitement of unlocking your favorite cars could make the game much more exciting. Forza Horizon 6 fans hope for a larger, more diverse map offering various environments. Moving exclusively to next-gen consoles and high-end PCs would make it far easier for Playground Games to improve the map size substantially. If we could explore the cities and the Tuge Mountain roads of the Japanese countryside, it'd be a dream come true for many enthusiasts. Every Forza title includes an artificial neural network used by its AI racers, called Drivatars, a portmanteau of driver and avatar. Drivatars were developed and designed by Microsoft Research Cambridge to learn and adapt to the player's driving. In early Forza titles, the Drivatars ran on a Bayesian neural network, which calculates possible solutions to a problem and their probabilities based on player data collected from previous races before selecting the one with the highest confidence value. Such a problem may be reaching a certain turn, at which point the appropriate angle at which to turn and the amount of pressure on the accelerator must be determined. Initially, the only way to share the learned Drivatars was to copy them onto Xbox memory units for use by other Xbox consoles. Since Forza Motorsport 5, the Drivatars have used a reinforcement learning paradigm and have recorded racing data of all players connected to the cloud as part of the Xbox network.